Here is the Avast Security News Roundup for the week ending June 4th, 2021. The White House suspects Russian ransomware group in JBS Attack. At a press briefing on Air Force One, Presidential Deputy Press Secretary Karen Jean-Pierre commented that JBS, the world's largest beef producer, reported that it had been the victim of a ransomware attack. JBS notified the administration that the ransom demand came from a criminal organization likely based in Russia. Jean-Pierre said, adding that the FBI and CISA were investigating the incident and that the White House is engaging directly with the Russian government on this matter and delivering the message that responsible states do not harbor ransomware criminals. I Have Been Pawned password program is now open source and accepting data from the FBI. HIBPS's Pawned Passwords code is open source and available on GitHub. The change provides transparency for HIBP and, oddly enough, opens the door to contributions from the FBI. Have I Been Pawned keeps track of data breaches and collects stolen data, allowing people to check if their email address or password have been compromised. Now that HIBP is open sourcing its pawned password code, it can accept contributions from the FBI and other organizations that may have insight into data breaches and criminal activity. In other words, the FBI isn't meddling with HIBP's code, it's just giving data to HIBP in the form of secure SHA-1 and NTLM hash pairs, not plain text. Brian A. Vorndram, Assistant Director of the Bureau's Cyber Division, states that the FBI is excited to be partnering with HIBP on this important project to provide victims of online credential theft. Read more on Review Geek. TikTok quietly tweaks privacy policy to collect your biometric data. The policy change, first spotted by TechCrunch, specifically states that TikTok may collect biometric identifiers and biometric information as defined under U.S. law, including face prints and voice prints from videos users upload to their platform. The company also notes that, where required by law, it will seek any required permissions before collecting that data. On top of that, the new policy also clarifies that other data, like the nature of the audio and the text of the words spoken in your user content, might also be automatically collected. It's also worth pointing out that this face and voice related data appears under a new header in the policy, Information We Collect Automatically, which implies that TikTok might be able to hoover this data without users realizing that's what they're agreeing to. White House expands investment ban on Chinese tech and telecom companies. The Biden administration has replaced and extended Trump-era restrictions on investing in certain Chinese firms deemed supportive of that country's surveillance and military apparatus. Major tech, space, and telecom companies are listed in the initial 59 covered by the executive order, with more to come by order of the Treasury. I find that the use of Chinese surveillance technology outside the PRC and the development or use of Chinese surveillance technology to facilitate repression or serious human rights abuse constitute unusual and extraordinary threats, writes President Biden in the introduction to the order. The EO has its roots in the Trump administration's long-running and evolving blacklist of Chinese companies, whether for government procurement, private investment by U.S. firms, or other purposes. Russian hacking group poses as USAID. Microsoft told NPR that it discovered a breach last week that involved hackers Posing as members of the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, the attack affected about 150 organizations and may have resulted in up to 3,000 compromised accounts. Microsoft believes the Russian group Cozy Bear, also known as APT-29 and Nobelium, is behind the attack, based on the targets, human rights groups, and think tanks, and the techniques used. The breach began when the group infiltrated email marketing company Constant Contact, which has USAID as a client. Cozy Bear then compromised USAID's contact list, launching a spear phishing campaign that aimed to install malware on its victims' systems. The U.S. Department of Justice announced this week that it seized 2 internet domains that were used in the USAID spear phishing attacks. The DOJ wrote in a press release that the malware hiding in the initial spear phishing emails was programmed to reach out to one of 2 domains, the Yard Service or World Home Outlet, to retrieve the Cobalt Strike tool, a remote access tool that allows hackers to manipulate other systems. As demonstrated by the court-authorized seizure of these malicious domains, we are committed to using all available tools to protect the public and our government from these worldwide hacking threats, said Acting U.S. Attorney Raj Parekh for the Eastern District of Virginia. DarkSide faces shadow court system on dark web. Ransomware group DarkSide, which was responsible for last month's Colonial Pipeline attack, is having trouble paying debts owed to its criminal affiliates, and so has set up its own court-like system for settling complaints. Plaintiffs are asked to report their grievances on DarkSide's dark web criminal forum, and admins then settle the claims in a hacker's courtroom, making cryptocurrency payments to owed affiliates from a DarkSide account they control. Cybercrime has matured so much, one researcher told the Post, there is a strange people court to dispute claims and wrongdoings in the underground syndicate. What is Amazon Sidewalk, and should you disable it? Sidewalk is a new wireless network developed by Amazon that goes into effect on June 8, 2021. It uses Bluetooth low energy combined with a part of the Wi-Fi radio spectrum in the 900 MHz range to connect devices beyond their normal range. The advantage of using this low frequency band on the radio spectrum is that its signals are extremely robust and can move around or penetrate obstacles with ease. This means that they can travel a relatively long distance. Devices operating in the 900 MHz spectrum also use much less energy than those working at higher frequencies. And the same is true for devices that use Bluetooth low energy technology. So by combining the 2 protocols along with other radio frequencies, Amazon says it can deploy a network that can link up all Sidewalk-enabled devices to create a giant network that can ensure devices stay operating more consistently and do so over longer distances. With Sidewalk, you can continue to receive motion alerts from your security camera even when your Wi-Fi goes down, or if your Wi-Fi does not reach your smart lights at the edge of your driveway. Sidewalk can help them stay connected. In the future, Sidewalk will also support a range of experiences, from using Sidewalk-enabled devices to help find pets or valuables, to smart security and lighting, to diagnostics for appliances and tools. If this extended sharing capability goes beyond your comfort zone, then you need to turn Sidewalk off. For simple-to-follow instructions in turning the feature off, please watch the video I created, and you can access it at the link listed. And that wraps up this week's edition of the Avast Security News Roundup. Stay safe, stay secure. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.